Jay here for Scotty and Motty. That's Scotty. I'm Motty. This is live, so get involved in the comments and the chat. As you can see, we're going to be talking about that beautiful man. Well, talking to a beautiful man about a beautiful man.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right, man.
Have you fell off the wagon?
Yeah. Only if glue counts. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Yes. So, Madrid saved our blushes there, didn't they? Eh?
It did.
Well, not our blushes, just making it the worst season possible.
Yeah, I mean, most people might say that it would be quite pathetic the way I celebrated on Saturday night, but I had a worse hangover on Sunday than 1999.
Where were you where did you watch it? Where were you?
I watched the first half in Media City, and then I was at my brother's house watching the second half. And champagne bottles got popped and party in the kitchen.
It's like, listen, I get it, right? And I get it if I don't know there are any Scousers watching, but if you are, I get it. You're looking at us going, "That's pathetic. What is wrong with you?" That's all you've got is celebrating Liverpool not winning the Champions League. But yeah, that is what we've got, and it would have been horrendous had they won their 7th. Do you know what I mean? We'd now be putting up with all them celebrating, all getting rammed down our throats. We've just finished 6th. They've won, you know, the League Cup, the FA Cup, and a 7th Champions League. It would have been minging. And let's not pretend that Liverpool fans didn't cheer when Real Madrid beat us in 2013 or when Barca beat us in the final in 2011, 2009.
Yeah.
They were loving it, and rightly so. It's rivalry.
That's part about being football fans, isn't it? I suppose you're not supposed to want anybody else.
No.
Who's not your club to win anything. And I never understand this narrative that some of the media say, oh, it's another English club. You've got to get behind them. And I'm like, no, that's absolute bullshit. You're doing fans. That's wrong. You're not a proper supporter if you're doing that.
Have we ever spoken about that lad on Twitter, James Melville?
I know who you mean. He's Scottish.
I think so. He popped up on our radar, I think, during COVID and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he tweeted, I'm a United fan, but I want Liverpool to win.
He's not a United fan.
He's not, is he?
No.
If you are a United fan and you want Liverpool to win, on your way back from the doctors, give us or the off license, give us a comment and let us know, because I've seen this like narrative building up about should get behind English teams. Why?
No.
Why should you get behind English? They don't get behind us, and I wouldn't want them to. No. Would you want Liverpool fans cheering on United in the Champions League? No.
I'm going to be honest here. I absolutely love Liverpudlians as a city, as the people, Scousers and stuff. But I hate that football club equally as much as I love Man United. Such is my passion for that hatred.
That is a very fair point. I'm similar. You can go to I had some great nights out in Liverpool. I get on with a lot of Scousers, have a good laugh with them. Even done videos with them and stuff like that.
The similarity is the same between Mancoons and Scousers, both working class cities, and I think that's the reason we hate each other.
You don't have to answer this, but I hope you do. Do you think you've got more in common with a Liverpool fan who goes to the game, working class like you, than a United fan who doesn't do any of those things?
Who doesn't go to the game?
Doesn't go to the game, lives abroad or whatever, or is rich.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there are similarities, aren't there, to supporting a club. Well, Liverpool fan, it could be a City fan or whatever. I've noticed that we do have certain similarities.
The fan culture at Liverpool is very similar to United. And I'm talking like hardcore fans.
And I'm not knocking anyone who doesn't go to the game, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about, is there a similarity to people that do the same things as you do?
Yeah, but that's what I mean in terms of the people who go to the terraces and have been going for a long time, year in, year out. Music, football, clothes are always very similar in terms of what they're wearing on the terraces, and there is that similarity. And definitely.
It's weird, isn't it? Because I do a podcast with a City fan. This is me and another United fan, a City fan, and you realise just how many similarities you got as City, because you can mean a City fan from like similar areas.
Yeah,
not the same. I think he's from sort of around Fallowfield, but you have those similar traits. You work in class. You live in Manchester. You're Mancunian. So it's just, when it comes to the football, you hate each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's mental that is the case. But yeah, I mean, like most of my mates are probably City or Liverpool fans. But when it gets to when we're playing against them, it's complete hatred against each other.
I've got a comment here. This is from Rangers Easy OK. All right, lads. Seen your tweet, Jay, about no parade in 08 due to our fans causing a riot in Manchester. Can only apologise. Laughing emoji. Yeah, this was I put on.
Is he being sincere with the apology?
I don't
That's
think
nice.
he is. I don't blame him.
14 years too late.
Yeah, because I'll ask you this, Scotty, because you're quite a man of the people. You're left wing. Regardless of their football team, I think you are on the side of the downtrodden. What did you make of the treatment of the Liverpool fans by the authorities? What was your take on that? Do you think that
In Paris?
Yeah. Did you think that there was an issue there? Because we've had this statement, haven't they, with ticketless fans. Did you think that some of the fans were to blame? Do you think the authorities are to blame? What was your take on it?
My take on it is that I think the Liverpool fans are getting thrown under the bus by some corners of the media, and I think it was very badly. And as much as I'd like to start pointing the fun at Liverpool and for getting beaten and for what happened, Real Madrid fans were going through the same sort of thing, but because of the history, I think, of Liverpool fans and stuff, I think it's been focused more on that. Listen, this is the Champions League final. If they put as much emphasis on the security as they put on frigging Camila Cabello performing at frigging... Was it Camila Cabello?
I can just say it was an outrage the way she was treated.
Camila Cabello?
Singing songs while she's performing. You should be ashamed of yourself. You've ruined the competition for everyone. Did you see a tweet that she deleted?
Yeah.
Talk about read the room.
Just take the money and run.
I can't believe they were singing football anthems when I was performing. They did not know anything. No, do you know what it is, right? I don't want to get all biblical on you, Scotty, but he without sin cast the first stone and all that. I kind of tried to jib in 2011 in one way. Didn't succeed. It stopped me trying. So if fans didn't have tickets, they tried to go down there and try to all right, I can't be too judgmental because I've done it myself. And if they didn't, I've seen a lot of fans that were there. Andy Mitten did a tweet about his mate who was sort of stood outside for 2.5 hours or something with a ticket. Couldn't get in. It was a bit of a shambles, and it's easy to demonise football fans, and it's easy for United fans or anyone to go, it's Liverpool fans and all this other stuff. But I saw videos of guys just walking out the ground getting gassed for now.
Yeah,
getting tear gassed, just walking about and just like, yeah, have a bit of that. There was one guy, and he was treating it like it was a water pistol, like a hot Sunday when you're a kid.
Super Soaker 500.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like when I was Christian.
Yeah.
He was like that, and he was just going out. Yeah, you want some? And like just randomly. Tear gassing people, and I thought, right, come on, man, that's like, do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Is that you expect the authorities and the organisers of the ground and the event to accommodate for every sort of eventuality, don't you? You'd hope so, but when you're having to resort to fucking using a tear gas like a water gun, you fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. You done fucked up. Rangers Easy OK says, can I just say a big problem that day was the big screen in the square not working, but genuinely no excuse. I was in Seville at the game 2 weeks ago and we got the same treatment, no food, no water. Joke. I will just say this on the Rangers thing, and I did mention this when I alluded to it. If anyone doesn't know, in 2008, Rangers played in the Europa League final. I think it was Zenit St. Petersburg, was it?
Yeah.
They lost, and it was in Manchester. I think it was at Old Trafford. They lost, and they came into the city centre.
No, it was at City's ground.
Oh, was it at City? Right, sorry, forgive me. They lost, they smashed up the city centre. GMP, I think, used it as a bit of an excuse, saying, oh, well, we've had this riot in the city centre, so we can't have a parade for Manchester United winning the Champions League and the league that season. So you're not having a parade. Well, at first he said, we're not going to have one, we might have one later in the summer. And then they went, well, you're not having one. And that was it then. And then, at the time I was fuming because I loved the 99 parade. It was fantastic. I was thinking, we should have had a parade and we weren't going to smash up our own city centre after we just won the Champions League. It just seemed like a bit of a cop-out. And then you fast forward 3 years and it's like City with the FA Cup, you can have a parade. We won title number 18, was it? Oh, yeah, you can have a parade as well. Title number 9, sorry. And it's like, well, we wanted one in 2008. You want one in the Champions League, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want a parade. You don't parade when you've won something, I don't know, like the League Cup and FA Cup. That'd be a pathetic reason to have a parade, wouldn't it? Turn up 500,000 people on a Sunday. Fuck that.
What did you make of that, by the way?
There's no way I'd have turned up. I'd have phoned Jurgen on Sunday morning and said, listen, I've had a bad night. I'm not feeling the bus today. No way would I turn up and pretend. It's like, Christmas, New Year's Eve parties is what it reminded me of. Yeah. When people have to get together and you're forced to have some fun. Yeah, I'd have a bit of brie. Do you know?
A bit of brie. Your New Year's Eve parties have changed since I remember going out with you.
Well, live, aren't we? There's only so much certain things I can say.
It was have a bit of something, we weren't brie.
Brie was cold.
Is he come out of the toilets with that brie or what? Hey, he's been selling it all night.
Walking around stinking the gaff up.
Why your nose, man? You got brie all over it.
Oh, yeah.
Right, anyway, we'll move on before we all get cancelled. Yeah, I mean, do you know what I will say? I will be a hypocrite here. I did find it a bit like, a parade for that, really? But if United win anything next season, I'm going to celebrate it like it was we won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I want
If
Old
we
Tra-
win
I
the
want-
League Cup, I'll be running around Old Trafford. Seriously.
If we win a game next season, pre-season friendly when we play Liverpool in Bangkok, I'm out there, mate.
Yes, we're there, aren't we, son? Looking forward to that one. Get involved in the comments in the chat. Dave Rowbottom says, yes, boys, loving the fact you are back. Literally watched everything you have put out, even them mad shed ones with Scotty. Can we bring that back?
I might need a new shed.
We've got...
I could do it here.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
The shed.
It's the
People
lack
won't
of
want to
shed.
listen to you. They just want the shed.
Yeah.
No, because just for anyone who doesn't know, who's not a long-time listener like Dave Rowbottom, tell us what the shed was. It's a smoking shed, wasn't it?
Smoking shed, yeah. It'd have to be a vaping shed now because I tried to put down the 6.
We've changed those, haven't we?
Yeah.
Brilliant
The pandemic's changed many of us.
Yeah, hasn't it?
Yeah, so the shed was just basically me 5 minutes ranting about whatever was on. I think it only did one episode, and it was Mick Hucknall who was trying to. He did a league table of races, didn't he? He goes like, I really like black people because of this, and what was it? And gypsies. See if you can find it. It was.
I need to find it.
Comical.
Producer Callum, can you have a look at Mick Hucknall races?
I don't think he was trying to be racist, but it was just
Best races. Try that. Best races. And this isn't like 100 metres compared to...
I like them. I prefer the marathon to the 100 meters.
Yeah, I'm trying to... Oh, I think he's deleted it, actually. I think he might have closed his account. But yeah, it was... So you had a little bit of a bit of a rant.
Yeah. Simply wrong.
Simply wrong, yeah. Here you are. I think I've found it. Coolest cultures. If you put Google Mick Hucknall, coolest culture... Yeah, if you can get that on the screen. So he listed the top 5 coolest cultures on planet Earth. I can't believe a man sat down.
And he's still not deleted it?
No, he has, but it's in the
out there,
it's in the NME. I can't believe that someone thought this, wrote it out, and pressed send. So on Twitter, yep, it's going to be on the screen in a minute. He listed his top 5 coolest cultures on planet Earth. Now, I don't know what research has gone into this. I don't know how extensive it was. I don't know if he's just, he's travelled the world looking for the coolest cultures, or he's just going off the top of his head. I can't tell you. But this is the list he gave. Do you know what was number 1?
Black culture.
Yeah, African Americans.
What about English Americans?
We'll get to that. Hey, don't
English
worry.
Americans, African English.
There's a nod to the British in a minute. He's also put in brackets, they invented cool. Again, I don't know about the research, and I love African Americans, but he's saying that they invented cool. 2, who do you think number 2 was on the list of coolest cultures?
Latin? Jazz?
Oh, you see, that's not a bad guess. You're wrong, but it's in the
ballpark.
It's the sort of thing you come out with. You're one of them. It's working class British musicians.
Right, okay.
So you're second of the most, part of the second most coolest culture on planet Earth. On planet Earth.
According to Mick Hucknall.
No, I don't think we need to say according to Mick Hucknall. I think this is scientifically.
Really? Fucking hell.
I think he's done his research, and this is like a Gallup poll. I don't think you can dispute it.
Imagine if aliens are up there wondering where to go, and they've gone, like, let's get on Mick Hucknall's TripAdvisor.
if aliens are looking at Mick Hucknall's tweets,
He looks like a fucking alien.
I know. I shouldn't think what's going on in their planet. If they're coming up to that, they're looking for that for inspiration. There you go. There we see the internet never
A
forgets.
close third, Jamaicans.
So what makes me laugh about this as well is he's obviously put himself at the number 2, hasn't he? That's what he's getting at.
Yeah.
Because he's saying like I'm part of the second best culture in the world, and then he's sort of carrying it a close third is Jamaicans. I mean, this is just nonsense, isn't it? This is utter wibble. 4th, Jewish Americans. We all love Larry David and other Jewish Americans who've entertained us over the years.
Yeah.
Coolest cultures.
Leonard Cohen,
exactly. I mean,
are you going to say Woody Allen?
are we doing that again?
No, let's not do that wrong. Flamenco gypsies, though, we're struggling for any flamenco. And this isn't a disservice to the flamenco gypsies out there.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's kind of took a left turn there for me.
Yeah,
right?
it's a bit niche.
Yeah, I think you could have given me an hour or 2, and I might have had a stab at some of them, right? You could have given me 12 weeks, and I never would have guessed that he'd put flamenco gypsies in there. Not because I don't rate their work, it was not someone or a group I'd have thought of. And yet, that's who he's put as number 5th. I mean, it's just very bizarre, isn't it, from start to finish?
Yeah. And yes. Cheers, Mick.
I know, Mick.
So that was a smoking shed. So hopefully it will
And
make
this
a
was
return.
off the back. So this was when you did it. It was May 2020.
Yeah, May 2020. So we're in lockdown. May have had a drink.
Well, you were very
May have had a
articulate
cig.
when you did it.
Thank you very much.
I was very impressed. So yeah, were you going to bring that back? If you were to bring it back, who would be in it this week? Do you think?
This week, I want to talk about royalists or people who have got the bunting out in
Because
abundance.
This is your favourite week, this isn't it, Jubilee week? Because you're a massive royalist, aren't you?
Oh,
yeah. You're one of them who, I mean, I might be wrong. Didn't you name all your kids after members of the royal family?
Yep, my son's called Andrew.
Yeah, I thought so. It's so good you've not got a son. That's a get out of jail free card there. Because if you had one, we'd be deleting this video.
No, I'm not a royalist by any stretch of the
no,
imagination.
I
was pretty pissed on Friday when my kids were allowed to go to school and wear non-uniform, and I had to pay a Queen's head for each of them.
Oh,
like what's that about?
My missus is in the chat there. She's done a little winky emoji. Listen, I love my lady friend dearly, and my children, but she's bitten the bug, bro.
Where is she?
She's Miss Man United there with a little winky emoji. Four for bottom.
So what are you all like dressed up in like Union Jack gear?
She's bought some. She's got the bunny. She cried when Prince Philip died. I was gutted, honestly. And it's don't go down 1 week, so I didn't care. And
I don't get it though.
Right, I'm not. No, listen, he's an old man and he died. Right, I get. It's a tragedy or whatever, but it's not really like. Lots of people died, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And people that I care about. So, forgive me if I wasn't fussed at a royalist who's led the life we could only dream of.
And some of the stuff he'd said during
who said some horrible things. I mean,
DMX died the same day as Prince Philip, and I tell you what, I was more upset about DMX.
100%. Have you seen the documentary on him?
Yeah.
Mate, I was in bits at the end where he's singing memories.
It'll be a biog, I imagine.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No. You what, sorry?
There'd be a biog.
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, was it first 4 albums went to number 1?
Yeah. I think he released 2 in 1 year as well. His first 2 albums.
He was iconic.
His storyline is incredible, from being an orphan and all that.
It's horrible, isn't it? Horrible. And it's tragic to see that documentary and see him fighting against his demons, fighting against his addictions.
I understood his appeal to the masses.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I got that.
Oh, some of those tunes, X Gonna Give It To You and Party Up and all that
He's a man that's gone from rags to riches and obviously found some fucking crack pipes on the way, which was the end of him, which is a tragedy. But that narrative is quite impressive up to a point. But then Prince Philip was sort of always been on a pedestal, and I don't understand why the British working class public love the royal family in the way they do. It's beyond me.
And there you can see, I don't even, Mrs. said, we've got bunting, flag for front window, face masks, straw cups, plates. Aye.
Do you want to stay at ours this week?
Yeah, can I?
I'm going to Nebworth anyway. Fuck all this shit.
Oh, mate, can I join you? Dave Rowbottom says, any chance of a Sloppy Joe and Scotty and Motty collab? That would be sick. Yeah. Joe Smith and Joe McGrath, our mates, obviously from Paddock and... Excuse me. Have you ever collabed on the radio with Joe McGrath?
No, I don't think so.
You're not even done like a little...
I might have been on Talking Balls when he was presenting once, maybe.
It's one of those. Yeah, but they've got Sloppy Joe's podcast. Check it out. Very funny with Ethan as well. We could do a collab, couldn't we?
Are they paying us?
I'd want top billing.
Yeah.
It'd be Scotty and Motty featuring Sloppy Joe's. Maybe just give them like a section at the end.
The Joels, we'll call them.
Yeah, the Joels.
The Joels.
Yeah.
That's a grand idea.
Let's do that. Kevin Graham Poet says, glad I stay in Scotland. I haven't seen nothing, and the schools have an opt-out for celebrations. This is the thing. I mean, I know I sound like contradiction here because Mrs. said, we've got all the stuff out for the kids and all that, but kids getting like at school, come on, saluting the flag and all that sort of thing. I'm just not into it, mate. I've never been a royalist.
It's a bit cultist, isn't it?
It is.
Kids should have an opinion.
Yeah, and it's like, and what we right? Listen, I get the Queen is iconic to a lot of people. What are we celebrating here? What is it?
Is it a birthday or something?
I think it's 1952 she came to the throne, so it's 70 years of her being on the throne.
What did she have to do? Slay a dragon to get to the throne?
No, she had to work her way up.
Work her way up? From admin?
She grafted. She got her promotions, right?
Fair play.
She worked hard, and then eventually she made it all the way to Queen. So if you work hard, just like Liz did, you could be Queen one day as well.
Dream. It's the dream. I look good in a tiara.
Yeah. Mrs. has come in again and said, I'm no loyalist. I'm no royalist. You know that. It's only for the street party. John B. here. Here's one for you. Says, love this podcast. Glad to catch it live. Love every time there's a Wire reference. A man could kill... This comment takes a turn. A man could kill my whole family, but if he loved the Wire, I'd probably let it go. I'll tell you what, John B. That first sentence was probably the best comment I've ever read. The second one, I'm a little bit worried, bro. Yeah, seriously. I don't know. If a man's murdered my own family and he just stood there in the kitchen,
in this fictional situation, he turned around before he's phoned the old Bill and gone like, what's better, The Sopranos or The Wire? Do you know what I mean? Before the phone, the old Bill, what's your favourite TV series?
He's caught this guy. The guy goes to him, makes me sick, motherfucker. How far we done fell? He goes, go on, bro.
Or he walks off whistling the same tune as Omar. He's like, no, he's got it, man. It's fine. Sorry, love.
Like, John B's trying to explain himself.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? There's just something about a fellow Wire fan. Haha. We've got a treat for Wire fans, haven't we?
We have indeed. Our top 5. This will be top 5 Wire characters, as it is the 20th anniversary on Thursday.
There's going to be an argument in there over who gets which one.
Well, I'll give you that one. I've got a curveball I'm going to throw in. Yeah, I know.
All right, you know which one I want.
Yeah.
He's there, little wonder. Make sure you check that out. When we're putting out Thursday, aren't we?
Thursday,
yeah. Colin says, I heard the national anthem coming out of the school near me last week. Felt like I'd gone back in time. Yeah. All this. Do you know what the trouble is with patriotism?
You tell me what the problem with patriotism is.
This is my TED talk on patriotism. It's not patriotism half the time. It's jingoism.
Define to the people that don't know what jingoism is.
It's not necessarily just I'm proud to be British.
It's what it represents a little bit different.
We're better than the foreigners. We're better than...
Nationalism.
We're better than those other cultures and those other races and those other parts of the world.
Yeah.
That's what it boils over to. And it does become... That's why you get a lot of this sort of nationalism and patriotism is mired in the far right extremism.
Yeah.
If you love the Queen and you're celebrating the Jubilee, I'm not saying you're racist or anything like that. I'm saying that sometimes that sort of attitude from certain people, it spills over to that.
Yeah.
It becomes as a crossover where people go, you know what the best thing about being British is it's because you're not a foreigner, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the British race, they're the purists and all that nonsense. And it's like, that's what I don't like sometimes. You get that sort of,
it's like the Union Jacks, like a Stone Island badge. It's been appropriated by far right, isn't it?
Yeah, great point.
Ruin the Queen and decent coats.
Yes, it has. You're right, because it's not. I wouldn't feel comfortable now, say, sticking a Union Jack flag on the back of my car, or do you know what I mean, or even in shop.
No,
in here.
The thing is, it was cool. Like, you look back towards like the 60s and you're seeing it and all that sort of swinging 60s down in Soho. And stuff like Austin Powers garb. Obviously, that was filmed in the 90s, set in the 60s. But, Michael Caine. Yeah. It seemed to stand for something a little bit different than what it does nowadays.
And it's sad because there's nothing wrong, but look at the Euros. When seeing certain things there, or I'll tell you what's better example, the World Cup. We was doing stuff in the World Cup, and you see people coming together. We had a right laugh.
Yeah.
Some of those games were in fan parks, and you're mingling with people. We went down to Bristol, to Birmingham. We went all over Newcastle, Copenhagen. Yeah. We went to all these different places, and you're mingling with people, and they're celebrating something, and it felt like it was a real buzz. And I bought into it. I'm not a massive England fan, and I bought it. It's just like, this is all right. Do you know what I mean? I'm liking this. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when it gets to this one. Dave Pritt. Me and you spoke about this a couple of years ago, Scotty. I called you Motty then, I'm forgetting who's name. Scotty, we spoke about how Union Jacks in a Twitter bio are usually a bit of a red flag.
Yeah.
It's not always.
I don't get that.
Sometimes, though, you get a Union Jack and it's usually someone that says, listen, I ain't got a problem with,
but
the brown people, but I just think we're better off without them. And I remember having this conversation when, me and you were like, we were laying into people with Union Jacks on the bio, Twitter bio. And I bumped into Dave Pritt, who's a good mate of mine, and he's as liberal as he come. And he was like, he started explaining that he has his Union Jack on his Twitter for Great British Racing or something, because he's into his cycling and stuff, or something like that. And he just pops up in the comment going, back to having a go at me for having one in my Twitter. Not at all, Dave. Listen, if you want to be part of the far right movement, that's up to you, bro. I'm not going to judge you.
Each to their own.
Listen, you're still my friend. If you just because you support the British National Party and all that, I'm not going to judge you. I think it's a bit out of order, but you're still a friend. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's one. I was thrown out. This is from Kevin Graham, poet. I was thrown out the boys' brigade for refusing to stand up for God Save the Queen. I was only there to play football anyway. That's Kevin Graham. He does a Celtic podcast, I think. I can't remember.
Yes,
Yeah,
that sounds right. Yes, that's good stuff, that. Yeah, do you know what amazes me?
Did you ever go to boys' brigade and stuff, though, when you were a kid?
I went to
Scouts.
Cubs. I didn't make Scouts.
What's the Cubs? What
Cubs,
age was that?
It's mid-20s, I think.
Mid-20s? Speaking of princes.
I wonder why they chucked me out.
Okay, now.
Didn't get any of my badges.
What was it? Epstein's Cubs?
Yeah. It's got nicked. No, I think it's like primary school age.
Yeah.
I went a few times. It wasn't for me.
Like brownies and all
Yeah,
that.
it's like that. Arcade and all that.
for
Dib,
men.
dib, dib, dob, 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 and all
I
that.
went once with a mate called Peter Smith, and it was. Did you ever like cadets?
Oh, yeah. 8 to 10 it is. 8 to
8
10.
to 10.
Yeah, so I
like,
went there.
did you go cadets or anything like that?
Not really.
Like, I remember going to cadets around the corner because there's fucking nothing to do. And we were told we'd be able to shoot guns and shit. So I thought, like, we'll get a load of that. You had to wear like the grey uniform. It was horrible.
Where was this?
In Levenshulme, alongside. Levenshulme it was, just on the border, Levenshulme alongside. But went there and it was all people who couldn't get into the proper army, so they basically took it out on the fucking all these little kids.
Oh, God.
And
So just got a bunch of bullies then, basically.
Yeah. So I remember I only went once, but it was with a lad called Peter. And I didn't want to go. Told him I can go shoot guns. Went along, and within 15 minutes of being there, some guy who's like 18 starts roaring in this 11-year-old's face, literally fucking spit shouting at him.
Stop it.
And he shit himself.
Literally
Shit himself. I
Oh.
was so happy because we had to leave. I was like that. Oh, you're all right. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank the ball gods.
Yes. That lad's soiled
yes,
himself.
his mama. Well, it was horrible, but I never understood all that sort of. And scouts and stuff.
Yeah, who's supervising these 18-year-olds as well?
I mean, it's passed down, innit, and all that.
It does seem a bit like bullying, doesn't it? It just seems a bit like I wouldn't trust a load of angry 18-year-olds looking after my 10-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? It does seem a bit much,
No.
doesn't it? So that was your one trip to cadets?
It was, yeah.
That was it for you?
Yeah.
No more? Like, you've seen it all there, really, haven't you?
I'd rather hang up. There's more chance of shooting a gun out on the streets than there was in the cadets.
I didn't want to say that because it's your area, but do you know what I mean?
That's very true.
Talking of cadets, the new Top Gun movie's out, innit?
Oh, lovely segue there.
Hey, that's, it's not my first rodeo.
Really? Yeah, you convinced me why. I never really got into the whole
Well, mate, come on, man. Me and you are a similar age.
Goose and Maverick and stuff. I know, but I was cooler than you growing up. Obviously, I was out doing stuff. I was shooting Top Gun. You should have gone for the gun line.
Oh,
Speaking of guns,
you see,
there's a Top Gun coming out.
Yeah, should we do it again?
If you want, go on then.
Go on, say the thing about shooting guns.
Oh yeah, there's more chance of shooting guns outside of the cadets than there was inside it.
Talking of cadets, I mean,
You fucked it up. You dickhead. Not my first time at the rodeo.
talking of guns, the new Top Gun movie's out.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. Now you're not a fan of Top Gun. You weren't a fan because it was quite iconic, wasn't it? And I remember as a kid, everyone loved Top Gun.
It wasn't as good as Dirty Dancing
Right.
or any of the other great 80s movies.
Strange character. I can't work you out.
Why?
We've not been mates for 20 years.
Do you not like Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing's all right.
Fuck off. Dirty Dancing is a classic.
I
It's
wanna
known
know,
as the
why have you-
Godfather of the 80s.
You just made that up.
Ask Mick Hucknall.
Yeah, top 5 dancing films. I look like
Your missus agrees with me a lot.
Yeah, she loves Dirty Dancing.
I love this. I love this.
Cruise.
That guy there, Andy likes stuff. Dirty Dancing's what the fuck terrible film. So he doesn't like Dirty Dancing, does he?
I want to know why you've pitted these against one another. Why you've gone, it's not as good as this one. Like, so therefore it must be terrible.
Because
like,
they were 80s iconic films.
right.
So
if it's not as good as Dirty Dancing, it's not worth watching.
Yeah, that's the bar.
Well, what about like Rocky 4?
That came out in the 90s.
No, it didn't. It came out in 1985.
Rocky 4 came out in it. Did you fuck?
Are you gonna make me
Rocky
Google?
4 with the Drago.
1985. Don't test me on that, bro.
All right, okay.
Yeah, with Drago.
I'll be honest, I didn't think that was great.
Oh, I cried my eyes out at the cinema. I went to cinema for my birthday to watch that as a treat. Curse in Nurmston, it's not open anymore. And when, plot spoiler alert, when Apollo Creed died, I was gone.
Yeah.
Gone. It's up there with Goose dying. It's just,
Who's Goose?
right, Goose is Maverick's navigator.
The guy out of ER?
Yeah, the guy. This is like film reviews for the insane. The guy out of Anthony Edwards, also known as the guy out of VR. Yes, that's
what he has in his business card.
I don't think there's ever been a more Mancunian sentence than the one Scotty just did then. That 4 seconds was the most Mancunian anyone has ever sounded, ever. The guy out of the That's your film review for Top Gun, if you've not seen it.
Watch out, Nick Commode.
Yes, Mark Commode. Yeah.
Not as good as Nick.
Not as good as his worst little brother.
Yep.
Yes, the guy out of ER.
Goose
is... that's like the sort of emotional moment in the film.
Did you cry?
I don't remember crying at that. I might have done. I said it's on another podcast there. I think I did, but I can't remember. I was a kid when I watched it. I was upset. It's harrowing.
Do you ever get like certain films and genres or scenes which will put you off a film? Like if something's shot in space, I can't get down with that.
Look, Star Wars.
Yeah.
You're not into that?
At all.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
or anything that's in space, not particularly. Star Wars is like the worst film that I've seen that's set in space.
Right, okay. What about Apollo 13?
No.
What you just
Armageddon was good. It was shit, but it was I knew
right.
it wasn't trying to be too good.
Do you know what you need to see on Armageddon? Right. You need to see, and this isn't a joke, Ben Affleck's DVD commentary on Armageddon.
Really?
Right. Google it if you're watching. Just Google on YouTube. Ben Affleck, Armageddon commentary. Right, there's two. There's a longer version and a shorter version. You want the shorter one, where what he does is, I'm amazed they let him do this. So you know you have to.
Yeah.
Has
he basically ran it into the ground on the commentary?
Well, what he's doing is there's the bit where the Bruce Willis says like he wants his own team to come and to come and help.
Are you going to do any spoilers? You have to let people know who haven't watched.
I'm not. If you've not seen Armageddon, the plot is the world's going to end because a meteor's coming towards it. Bruce Willis is the best driller in the world. They work out that sticking a missile inside the meteor is the only way to get it to destroy
and
it.
they can only get this team of oil riggers.
Yeah, so oil riggers, right? So Ben Affleck points out the massive plot hole in Armageddon, and that is the idea that rather than training astronauts who go through years of training, right, who are obviously have gone through all this, not just this sort of academic training, but physical training that goes on, a lot of them are ex-pilots. They go through literal years before they're good enough to fly into space. Training them how to use a drill, forget that. We're going to get some oil riggers and train them in 2 weeks how to fly into space.
I think you're doing a disservice to the people who work on oil rigs there.
And listen,
You're going to get a lot of angry oil riggers coming on the show going, I could fly a spaceship. Who are you? I'll show you.
This isn't. I'm not.
It's not easy to fucking dig for oil.
Well, this is. You want to check out Ben Affleck's commentary then, because he makes it sound like he goes. You just point the drill and dig. That's your training. But no, we're going to send all these astronauts in. And he said to Michael Bay, I think it's director, he went, Michael, this is like ridiculous. And he said, Michael Bay just said, shut the fuck up. it's like that's the premise of the film.
But it didn't matter.
There's in a lot of films, if you can get over one thing, there's one thing you've got to get over.
Yeah.
That you just ignore this sort of flaw in the film or this, this suspension of disbelief. You've got to go with this, then it works. And for that, as a sort of popcorn, 2 hours of nonsense, it is entertaining.
Up until you mentioned that via Ben Affleck's commentary,
Yeah.
it's something that I'd never ever taken into consideration.
Did you never thought of that?
No.
Never thought like, why are they training these oil riggers?
It's not something that I pondered on over it. I watched it, thought Ben Affleck was good in it, Bruce Willis, Aerosmith at the end. It was like the 90s, wasn't it, man? You rock on.
Can I shock you even further?
Go on.
I don't like Aerosmith songs.
It's not great.
No, I don't want to miss a thing. It's horrible.
Do you like any Aerosmith
Oh,
songs?
yeah.
Don't you say Walk This Way.
No, is it Dream On?
I don't know.
Yeah, Dream On.
I don't know many of them. I think he's more famous for being Tyler Perry or Steve Tyler or something.
Yeah, Steve Tyler Perry's the guy out of the films. He always dresses up as a woman, innit? Tyler Perry, like Maddy. What's his name? Tyler Perry's main character.
Elvira.
Mate, this is like, we're too young to be this mentally unwell. Tyler
It's
Perry.
been a long weekend, I told you, mate. I was celebrating fucking Madrid for 2 nights.
This is like we're an association. Elvira.
Tell us a film.
I'm trying to find it. Help me. Sorry. Medea. That's it. Medea. So it's all the black cast, and it's a sort of he's the actor. He was on the stage, and he took it into film as well. They're not very good, these films, but they're quite popular. But yeah,
wasn't in Aerosmith then?
No, in Aerosmith, I think Steve Tyler in it. Yeah,
his daughter,
Chris Perry in it.
His daughter's in
Liv Tyler's in Armageddon.
Armageddon, yeah.
Yeah. So like, I get that. I get Armageddon. You can sort of enjoy it. It's a load of nonsense.
Back to Top Gun.
Right. Top Gun. I think when, like, as a kid growing up in the 80s, fighter pilots, well, you know what I mean? It's all good stuff. Shooting down the enemy, the Russians, I think it was, and all the MiGs. There's, like, it's an entertaining romp. Do you know what I mean? But it's a bit like Armageddon. It's not going to make you go home and think about anything deep. It's just 2 hours of nonsense.
Did he need to bring it back? Was it worthy of a sequel?
I think it works. From what I gather, I've not seen it, but there's had rave reviews. It's got like 98% or something on Rotten Tomatoes and 99 on the audience score, which is, I know some people
That's
go Rotten
incredible.
Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is flawed, by the way. Dead Man's Shoes has got 40 odd on there, so don't get me started. But it's very rare for the overwhelming amount of critics, especially when it's someone like Tom Cruise, who people have a bit of a being upon it about. Like, he's not always the most popular guy, but it looks like they've made it work. So I do want to go and see it. I'm going to go and watch it on my own because there's no way Mrs. can't stand Tom Cruise.
If you're going to wear the fucking Union Jack suit, the least she can do is...
Yeah, that's a good point, that.
Like for like,
yeah, so Top Gun, not for you.
No.
What about Love Island?
No. I might join the Sloppy Joes. Like, I've always been amazed. It's only like, what is it, a month a year where I mute you on social media.
I don't...
Because you love...
Yeah, I do.
Love Island.
I did, right? I don't think I did it last time it was on. I don't think I got involved. There was a couple of times, like a couple of years ago, where I got well into it. Like, and what happened was, I came home from... I've been away for work with work. We've been out away with you. And I came home and Mrs. was like, I've started watching Love Island. Because we didn't watch the first 5 series or whatever. And she's like, I've started watching it. I've got into it. I can't help myself. So then I started watching it with her, and then you get into it. You get like, I got emotionally involved in these people, and I get angry when certain things go on, and upset when certain things go on. And I know it's stupid because it's like, who are these like influencers stuck in a villa? Ooh. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's nonsense. But you do, when you know when you're watching it, it's like that whole Big Brother thing where you have people that you like, you have people that you don't like, you think, oh, why has she said that? And I do a lot of people's heads in on Twitter. I think I did last year, actually. I think someone's pointing out I did, actually, because now I'm thinking about it, what went on last year. Yeah, I did. And I do like tweeting, because I love getting involved in all the Twitter stuff that goes on. Because it's quality. Twitter pops off when it's on. But I get like people who hate it, because some people follow me because they think I'm going to tweet about football. And then when I'm tweeting,
you have dimensions, Jay. You got, like, many layers.
Thank you. I'm a multi-layered individual. And then when they see me tweeting about Love Island, and I do turbo tweet about it as well, I lose a lot of followers.
You do you though. That just shows that you're not bending your opinions to the masses.
No, I mean, listen, and also you've got to have a guilty pleasure. I think, like
Michael Owen's daughter's in this one. I might have a watch this one.
Yeah, she is. I hope she. Yeah. That's a good comment. She better have a better personality than him. Did you see him after the Champions League final? What he was saying?
What was he saying? And it falls asleep every time Michael Owen talks.
He's just. He can't go with the fact that Liverpool fans don't like him. He's just always trying to ingratiate himself. But they're never going to love him because he's played for Man United and won the title for Man United. He was saying that Liverpool are the best team in Europe. If you take away the fact that they didn't win the English Premier League or the Champions League. Yeah. Other than football results.
So it's something that I've always thought, that whoever wins the FA Cup and League Cup is the best team and has the best manager. So I always think that. Every year. Fuck Man City right off.
It's just bizarre. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? Does Michael Owen get on TV if he's not Michael Owen? And you could like put that to any pundit, like based on their punditry skills.
No, like he's got away with it because for like a couple of years in like the late 90s he was iconic, wasn't he? That goal against Argentina.
Yeah, but not for a personality. If you got if you're the people he went up against, like Beckham was far more sort of cool and influential than Michael Owen ever was.
I think Beckham would probably be similar as a pundit. And I don't mean this disrespect for Beckham. I love Beckham.
No, but like people would want to look at Beckham.
They would want to look at him, but I think as a pundit, he might even be the same as Michael Owen. I think if you actually listen to a lot of what Beckham says. He's not like he's
Yeah.
he's always talking about football. He's very insightful. He's just a nice guy in it. But I think if he was a pundit, he might be a bit of that. He might be a bit beige almost.
Yeah.
And I think that, but people would say, "Oh, it's David Beckham, one of the greatest players ever."
You give him a pass, he's fit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, you just watch and just stare at him, wouldn't you?
I don't know about that.
But I think with Michael Owen, the problem you've got as well is, when you've got like on that panel, you had Rio, you had Gerrard, you had Owen, and I think you had Jake Humphrey presenting it. Rio, loved by United fans.
So you had 3 players, 2 that had won the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's been awkward for Gerrard.
Well, it was also awkward, I think, for Owen because the other 2 won the Champions League. But the Gerrard's obviously loved by the Scousers. Rio's loved by United fans. No one really likes Owen, do they? Like, no set of fans.
No, not even the Welsh. Wasn't he from Wrexham originally?
Yeah, I think he played for England. Liverpool fans don't like him because he played for United. United fans don't really like him because he's always just bashing United. He loves Liverpool. Stoke fans, I don't really think care for him. Newcastle fans hate him because he went there, didn't he? And was injured all the time and they spent all their money on him. Maybe Madrid fans have a bit of a soft spot for him. I'm not sure.
I'm late, but best bit was when Andy Robertson admitted he gave his mate one of the fake tickets.
What? I missed that. Did he really?
I don't know.
Is that true? Did Andy Robertson actually say that? I didn't know that because I know that wasn't there something as well with Klopp saying if you've not got a ticket, go down anyway before the game. Like, which I don't. I mean, I don't want to start doing fake news, but I've seen that he said something like that, which that's not great. But like I said earlier, I can sort of sympathise a little bit. Matt Trustain says, "Have you lads seen Dead Man on Campus from the 90s? If not, look for Cliff O'Malley on YouTube. Have you seen that Dead Man on Campus?
Never heard of it.
No, me. John B says, amazing defender, but Christ Rio is incredibly dull. He's like Michael Owen after he's had a bag of sweets. I think that's harsh. I think Rio's all right as a pundit. Miles says, the 80s were peak movie plus song combos. Top Gun, Dirty Dancing, Back to the Future, Rocky, Ghostbusters, Karate
Yes,
Kid.
I like Miles. He's right there, though.
Yeah. Name me a hit movie and there's a solid song usually firmly attached. That's true, that. The 80s was.
And it wasn't so much in the 90s because you had that's when Armageddon came in. It was all the ballads and you had Titanic, My Heart Will Go On.
Not Four Weddings and a Funeral.
What was that? Wet, Wet, Wet.
Oh, and what's the other one? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It was all like these long,
Bodyguard.
Yeah. We're onto something here.
Well, how long were all these songs at number 1 for as well?
I mean, I don't know if that's an indication of how bad the music industry was. It'd be early 90s.
Don't you think, like, The Bodyguard, Whitney Houston was number 1 for about 16 weeks or something?
Yeah.
Bryan Adams, Robin Hood was, again, number 1 for months. Wet, 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 Love Is All Around, was number 1 for ages. Isn't that weird, that?
Yeah. Notting Hill as well, I was one that number 1.
Oh, was that
Ronan Keating. I actually don't mind Notting Hill as a rom-com.
Do you know what? This is the thing, like, it does what it says on the tin, doesn't it?
I think I'm one of the few men that I know that actually like Hugh Grant. I think he's a fantastic actor. And I probably had more kudos for him after the whole Divine Brown stuff.
If anyone doesn't know, what's the Divine Brown stuff?
He got caught having a blowjob of a hooker on, I'm going to say Sunset Boulevard because it sounds cooler, but it was in Hollywood. Yeah, and he was getting a nosher for brass.
Yeah, that's I mean, he's right. That's what it is. There's not a way.
But no one expected it though, did they? Because he was very much clean cut, middle class British,
quintessential gent.
Yeah,
and all that.
And here he is getting some head off some fucking prostitute.
This is some street prostitute.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Apparently as well, if he'd have paid an extra $20 or whatever, he could have gone to an hotel, but he didn't. He saved money, got nicked. And that photo of him, his mugshot, was just priceless.
Yeah, it was great.
It was. No, Hugh Grant, I think he's become quite more popular because of Paddington 2, which is
one of the best films ever.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
It really is. Paddington 2 is a class.
It's elite. Do you know what I love in Paddington 2? Where they go to visit him in prison, and he says he thinks they can't hear him. You know, Hugh Bonneville, and he says, "Look at the state of him and all this." That one looks like they've got a brain. He looks like they've got a brain cell between them and all this. And he says, "We can hear you. You've just turned off the light." That one over there is one that says microphone. It's got a sign on it. Honestly, I love that. I think Paddington 2 is unreal. I ended up. It was on the other day, well, a few months ago, and I just started watching. I've seen it before.
Yeah, I've seen
it. Kids weren't.
I've seen it a few times.
It's mint, innit?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, Hugh Grant is like. a different chapter in his career. A lot of the sort of stuff he's doing on TV now is really good.
He's part
English Scandal. Seen that one?
Yes, very good film. He's part of the whole Hacked Off campaign here.
Yeah.
Against he's campaigning against phone hacking. He's quite outspoken about the press and stuff like that.
I know I can't say his name, but I know someone quite famous who confided in me about that case, and it completely fucked his career up, and basically made a lot of scandalous stories in the press based off hacking his voicemail, and he's just made a shitload of money out of the back of it.
Really?
I'll tell you what fair it is, but yeah,
right,
ridiculous.
Okay. And if you subscribe to Scotty and Motty, he'll tell everyone next week. Probably won't.
Is there going to be a Scotty and Motty top 5 rom-coms?
Yeah, I could do that. Could you?
Yeah.
Have you got 5 in the
5? Yeah, there's a lot of films out there, isn't there?
Rom-coms. I mean, I don't mind a rom-com, mate.
As long as Adam Sandler's not in it, I'll watch it.
Adam Sandler did have some good films early doors, and then they went horribly wrong. Have you seen Uncut Gems though?
Yeah, I watched it. There were people taking a piss at me on Twitter because I'd watched it at like 5 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and I didn't just come in, I'd woke up early, and it just really didn't set the tone for the day. It's like you don't need any caffeine after that to feel on edge.
It's relentless.
Yeah.
My missus says Labyrinth, David Bowie. Yep, very good point.
Magic Dance is one of the greatest songs of all time, and I'll die on this hill. And if you Bowie fans are out there and disagree with me, I'll be around at Laura's house.
Well, I think that's a good way to end it there. Hey, we'll wrap it up there. This has been Scotty and Motty.
Subscribe.
Make sure, you are hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. Thanks to everyone who got involved in the comments. It's great to see so many of you people getting involved as well. Man. It's good to be back. We'll be back on Thursday with our top 5 The Wire characters.
Yeah.
But until then, thanks for watching.
Cheers, man.